Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining our financial literacy class today. Feel free to take down notes as needed or take screenshots of information that interests you. If you have questions, please write them down and talk to the person who invited you. We value your time with us and we will ensure that the next hour is going to be worth it. So for today, we will be discussing 5 topics. So one is we will introduce to you what IMG is. 2, we will talk about financial challenges that we face in 4 major areas. 3, we will discuss about the basic financial concepts. 4, we will introduce you to Kaiser Healthcare. And 5, we will share with you the benefits of being a part of IMG. With these 5 topics, all of us should be able to learn something new, relearn something familiar, and unlearn something that needs changing. And so to introduce myself, my name is Hazel Cappleman-Sia. I am a physician by profession and currently practicing dermatology here in Masbate City. So I am also a marketing director and a financial literacy advocate of IMG. So I would like to congratulate you, especially the first-timers, for taking the first step towards financial freedom. So IMG has a bold campaign that is to be able to financially educate 30 million Filipinos by 2030. And your being here today makes you a part of this grand campaign. So what you are about to learn today are all taken from this book entitled The Secret to Saving and Building Your Future. For those who have been attending this class, congratulations as well. As they say, repetition is the mother of skill. Okay, so congratulations to all of us because we are striving, we are making efforts not to learn new things to make our lives better. So we all know that money is powerful. It is powerful that it can make or break us. So many of us work hard, yet we seem that we are not getting enough. No, we take more than one job or take side hustles or sidelines or rackets, but it seems that what we earn is not enough for our expenses, our daily needs. So many professionals too who are working bigger incomes, who are earning, bigger incomes, still find that they are not saving enough, or worse, they find themselves in debts. So in IMG, we will learn that there is something more powerful than money, and that is financial education. So financial education is not just for the rich, the wealthy or the business people. It is for everyone. Financial education is the reason why the rich continue to become rich. Further, financial education was not taught to us back in school or in college, when in fact, it is an important subject that we need to learn, just like math or science or history. And that's why IMG aims to spread awareness to all Filipinos around the globe about financial education so that all of us can achieve financial success. Financial education aims to break the cycle of poverty. So it is important to initiate discussions about money or money management because that is how we learn to be secure of the future without worrying about the lack of money to feed and to clothe ourselves and our family. When there is financial security, there is always peace of mind. So in IMG, we combine a great mission that is to provide financial education and a potential business career in the financial industry. We are here to share with you the basics of financial education because we believe that anyone is capable and should be given the opportunity to change his or her life for the better. So in IMG, we also have mentors. We have people that we look up to. They are experts in their fields, to teach and guide us in our journey towards financial freedom. So showing you here are the founders of IMG. We have Sir Joanne de las Peñas, Sir Noel Arandilla, and Sir Bart Borja. They are considered the big three of IMG. We also have notable mentors. We have Brother Bo Sanchez, who is a Catholic lay minister and writer of several financial literacy books. And Sir Rex Mendoza, who is known as the investment guru. He is the CEO of Ver Financials, which is the leading mutual funds distributor in the country. So as a total financial solution, IMG will help you to become financially educated, as well as give you opportunities or platforms to apply all your learnings. So IMG stands for International Marketing Group, a global company that serves as an avenue in achieving financial security. So it caters to the financial needs of every individual and families who wish to achieve financial independence. So IMG's mission and vision is about helping every Filipino family to become wealthy or rich or financially secured by making financial education available for everyone, regardless of status or professional background. So by teaching every Filipino how to save the right way. So in IMG, we will share with you for free a financial planning strategy that is simple, clear, and doable. So are you ready to learn more? Can you give me a thumbs up? Or can you type the word ready in the chat box? All right, let's proceed. So every day people go to work to, I'm sorry. So every day people go to work to make a living, but no matter how hard we work or how much we earn, money always seems to control us. No? In fact, the working Filipinos continue to face increasing challenges in these four major areas. Okay, so first is the uncertain labor market, meaning there is no security or assurance that our jobs will last long, especially those in the private sector. Di natin alam kung nandyan pa yung work natin next month or next year, no? Especially with what happened to us, no? The pandemic. Okay, nobody expected this to happen, pero nangyari siya, and it left 1,000 of Filipino families struggling to make ends meet for their families every day. And another thing that adds to the uncertainty is automation. So this is when machines or computers are replacing the human workers. So the age of powerful software and technology continues to replace more and more human workers. So examples are these kiosks, no, or mga machines that we see in fast food restaurants or in cinemas or in some stores. No, all we have to do is to tap on the machine, make our order, and we can even pay right there and then. So we no longer need to converse with a person, no? So imagine the number of human workers that are being displaced by automation. The second major area is low savings and high debt. So majority of Filipino workers have just enough income per month, no, sakto lang, which is sometimes not enough, especially for big families. And Filipinos are known for, having big families. And many think that the only solution to financial challenges is to borrow money. So with debts, utang that are piling and that need to be paid, most Filipinos will borrow money to pay for their debts, mga utang. So another habit is that adds to low savings and high debt is the mentality na party now, bahala na later, or YOLO, you only live once, kaya mag-enjoy na lang, or bahala na si Batman. This is best exemplified most of the time by OFWs, although hindi naman lahat po. So we say this because there are scenarios that we see or we hear from friends and relatives wherein when they come home, they spend most of their savings for parties, outings, inuman, and when they need to go back abroad to continue working, they do not have enough. So the tendency is for them is to borrow money because they no longer have enough money when needed. So our lifestyle and spending habits can also add to low savings and high debt. No, we might not admit it, but we also have this tendency to buy more than what we need. Sino ba ang guilty dito? Example, we do not need a new phone, but because a new model is out, we want to be with the trend and buy that new phone without considering if we can really afford it. And another is buying expensive items just because most of our friends buy them. Okay? So these lifestyles and bad spending habits have a big impact on our retirement. So instead of enjoying our retirement, the retirement money that we receive is used to pay for our debts or mga utang na naipon. So in short, nothing is left for us to spend. And when we get old, and especially when we no longer have jobs, that is why there are people who continue to work beyond age 65 in order to survive. No? Since these people are already beyond retirement age, they have no choice but to take any job so they can have something to use for their daily expenses. And then the third major area is the high cost of education. So in most schools, yung increase in tuition happens every 6 years. But in some schools, it can be every year. So when we plan for our children's education, dapat kinoconsider natin itong mga increase because the tuition fee this year might double or triple by the time na mag-start na yung anak natin sa college. So the bottom line here is there will always be expenses for education, whether our children are enrolled in public or private schools or in any school. And these expenses include allowances, food, school supplies, books, rent for housing or dorm, transportation, uniforms, clothes, computers, internet, and others. And we all want our children to be in a good school. Hence, majority of Filipinos need to save enough for the cost of a good education. So the fourth major area is increasing cost of living. So inflation is the rate at which money loses its value and the level of prices for goods and services is rising. As we can see here, the inflation rate that last December 2020 was 3.5%, and it went up to 4.2 in January this year, and further up in April at 4.5%. So inflation affects the purchasing power of our money. So let's take our 1,000 pesos, for example. No? In 1998, your 1,000 pesos can fill up a grocery cart. 10 years later, the same amount of money, 1,000 pesos, can only afford items to fill up half of the cart. And in another 10 years, that 1,000 pesos can only buy a few items. How much more in another 10 years? Inflation truly lowers the value of our money over time. So together with increasing taxes and no increase in salary, what do you think will happen? Will we be able to save? What can we do if we do not have enough savings? And emergencies such as hospitalizations, calamities, or unemployment happen. Okay, ano pwedeng mangyari sa atin? So in summary, these are the four major areas where most Filipinos are financially challenged. For our guest today, how about you? Which of the four major areas do you think affects you the most? Can you type the number or numbers in the chat box? Okay. So considering these challenges or realities in life that all of us face, the next question for us would be, how do we overcome these challenges? What can we do to overcome this? No? How can IMG help the Filipino rise from these challenges? So it is important to know that our future is not in the hands of anyone else, not our company, not our friends, not even the government. Nobody has the responsibility to make your life better and financially secure except you. Ikaw lang, no? In IMG, we will learn how to make money, to save money the right way, accumulate money or to grow our money, and most importantly, to protect the money that we have worked hard for. So understanding how money works and how it will work for us is part of taking care of our future and that of our family. That's why IMG encourages everyone to acquire financial education, because financial education together with discipline will help us become wealthy and overcome the challenges that we face in 4 major areas. Okay. And to understand how money works, let me first introduce you to the 3 basic financial concepts. These are the X-curve concept, the power of compound interest using the rule of 72, and how to build a solid financial foundation. So the X-curve concept states that over time, as we get older, our responsibility decreases and our wealth increases. So this is shown by the 2 curves that run opposite directions during our lifetime. So when we are younger and starting a job, normally, wala pa tayong ipon, wala tayong money, no big savings. So what we do is we work hard to have money. That is active income. At this time also, we have the responsibility to take care of our family, since we are the ones working to help our parents with their medications, our siblings with their tuition fees, or if we are starting our own family. If we are the breadwinner, it is our obligation to provide for food, for shelter, education, healthcare, and to pay our bills and our debts. Our income during this time is not enough and temporary, thereby it is less secure. At the height of building our wealth, we suddenly get sick or we lose our job due to calamities or accidents. Worse, although we are not praying this to happen to anyone else, what if we die suddenly? We can never know, and it can happen to anyone. So if this happens, who then will take care of our family, especially our kids? This is where life insurance comes in, because insurance is equivalent to instant cash that can help our family in the event that we become disabled or when we die too soon. So if we are the breadwinner in our family and something happens to us, the income that we used to receive is replaced by insurance. And as we get older, we are increasing our wealth. By the time that we are 40 or 50 years old, we are already done paying for our loans, debts, the education of our kids. We are done paying for insurance. So we are saving and investing more, as shown by the wealth curve or the green curve. Hence, we have lesser responsibilities and more savings and investments. And because we are able to save and invest, when we retire from our jobs and do not have active income, we are assured that we have enough money that we receive because of our investments. And this is what we call passive income, wherein kahit wala na tayong trabaho, wala na tayong ginagawa, our money is already working for us. Thus, we say we are more secure. But another fact or truth in life is, what if we live too long? Who will take care of us? Do we have enough savings that will last us up to 20 or 30 more years? What if we get sick and needed to be hospitalized? No, who is going to help us? Are we going to depend on our children? Although they would gladly help us, no, because they feel that it is their responsibility to take care of us. But until when? They will most likely have their own families as well by that time. So when we live too long, this is where life insurance and long-term health care comes in. So our key points here are, if we, the breadwinners, die too soon, life insurance will take care of our families. And if we live too long, investment and long-term health care will take care of us. So as parents or future parents who are financially educated, we now know that we shouldn't make our children our investments or retirement fund. Let us strive, habang kaya pa natin, to have our own investments and long-term healthcare plans to take care of us when we grow old. So if you want to take a screenshot of this graph, you may do so. And then moving on to the next concept. Okay, so who among us here is the first time to encounter compound interest? If this is not the first time we heard of compound interest, can you give me the heart reaction? Okay. So compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or deposit and accumulated interest from previous periods. In other words, interest upon interest over time. And this is best described using the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 was popularized by Albert Einstein, and it is a shortcut used to estimate the number of years required to double our money at a given annual rate of return. So we simply divide 72 over the interest rate. For example, if the interest rate is 4%, then our money doubles every 18 years. For an 8% interest, our money doubles every 9 years. And for 12% interest, our money doubles every 6 years. Okay, so for example, we are age 29 now and we each have 100,000 pesos to invest. If we put our 100,000 in an account that gives 4% interest, our money, our 100,000 will become 200,000 at age 47 and 400,000 at age 65. Our money doubled every 18 years. However, if we can find an investment platform that can give us 8% interest, this means our money doubles every 9 years. So our 100,000 can become 1.6 million pesos at age 65. But with a 12% interest rate, we can have more than that. Our 100,000 can grow to as much as 6.4 million pesos when we retire at age 65 because our 100,000 doubled every 6 years. So the higher the interest rate, the shorter the time that it will take for money to double. And take note that compound interest works best when we invest for the long term. So we have here an example from the Facebook page of Ms. Isaal of IMG. Okay. So in this case, we are investing in the Soldivo Strategic Growth Fund, which is a mutual fund, and we are getting 12% average annual return, which is our interest rate. Using the rule of 72, our money doubles every 6 years. Okay, so if we consistently invest 500 pesos per month for 35 years, our investment of 210,000 pesos can grow to as much as 2.9 million pesos. And if we invest 1,000 pesos every month for 35 years, our investment of 420,000 pesos can grow to as much as 5.8 million pesos. So we can see here the big difference of money saved versus money invested. So if we save 500 pesos a month for 35 years in a savings account, the total sum is just 210,000 pesos. And with inflation pa, its value can be lowered. Because what happens to our money in the bank? Okay, so most of us were taught when we were young the habit of saving. We were taught to open a savings account in the bank so we can have some money to use for future expenses. So all our lives, our money is just sitting in the bank without really understanding how the interest rates work. Did we ever consider asking what is the purpose of the interest rate? So now, since we are discussing compound interest and growing our money, if we still do not know this, most banks will only give us 1% annual interest or less. Okay, so applying the rule of 72, if we put 100,000 pesos in the bank, we will have to wait for 72 years before it can double. How much more if we are getting 0.50% interest? Can you imagine waiting for 144 years? However, we are not saying that we do not like banks, and we will discuss later in the next slides why we need them also. So the key point here is the interest in savings accounts are too low to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So realizing this situation, where then can we put our money so it can grow and balance inflation? So we can put our money in investments in the stock market. Okay. So many of us have this misconception that investing in the stock market only belongs to the rich, or the wealthy, or the big business owners, or the big companies. That's why we are all fortunate to be here, because as early as now, we will correct this misconception. Anyone who has the means can invest in the stock market, because it is in the stock market where we can find platforms or instruments that will help our money grow to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So it is in the stock market where we can enjoy 8 to 12% interest rates for the money that we invest. So we invest for our long-term goals, such as for our retirement fund and big purchases. No, that may be a property, your dream house, your dream car, or the college education of your children, or even your grandchildren, no? Or to build a business. So further, there are two kinds of investing. We have the direct investing and indirect investing. So to differentiate the two, direct investing is when we actively trade in the stock market. We actively participate in buying and selling of shares of a company. An active trader is someone with the knowledge and skills to participate in trading in the stock market. And a lot of research, training, and time is needed before we can become a successful trader. On the other hand, indirect investing is especially made for people who do not have the knowledge or skills and the amount of time needed to be an active trader. So indirect investing is commonly investing passively in mutual funds. So if we are new to investing, it is recommended to invest in mutual funds and learn from there. So why mutual funds? One, it is easier to do. Two, the money that we invest will be handled by professional fund managers. Three, a mutual fund includes shares of several companies and not just one, no, which provides diverse investment portfolio. And four, investing in mutual funds requires a low investment minimum amount because you already can start investing with just 1,000 pesos. And to know how mutual fund works, let's look at the next slide. Okay. So let's say individual investors like you and me put our money in the mutual fund, and the fund managers pool or collect the money and invest that money in securities or in the companies within that fund. So the fund managers are the ones who buy shares from these companies. All we have to do is continue investing or adding more money to our investment account, our portfolios, and wait for our money to grow. The returns that we receive from our investments are from the profits or earnings gained by these companies. In this example, the money that we put or deposit in this mutual fund is being invested in companies like Ayala Corporation, SM, BPI, Jollibee, BDO, Robinsons, and others. So we don't need to buy the individual shares of each of these companies. We just put money in that mutual fund and let the fund managers do the work for us. So the generated returns or gains will depend on how much we invested in that fund. And if you are interested in learning more about investing in mutual funds, please talk to the person who invited you so you can attend free classes on mutual fund investing. Okay. And if you are still hesitant, no, like most of us, to invest in mutual funds because of fear of being scammed, did you know that SSS and GSIS also invest their billions of pesos in mutual funds? If big companies can invest in mutual funds, what is stopping us from investing as well? Okay, so understanding the concept of compound interest using the rule of 72 will make us realize that there is no such thing as double or triple your money in 6 months or in a year, because those are most likely scams. And when we can invest even a small amount of money, we can be able to start building our own solid financial foundation. And this is the third financial concept that we will discuss. Okay. So building a solid financial foundation is just like building a house from the ground up. And it should look like this, no, according to priority. Okay. So first, we must have proper healthcare coverage. Second, we must have proper protection or life insurance in case we die prematurely. Third, we should be able to manage and pay off all our debts. Fourth, we must be able to set aside some of our money as emergency fund. And lastly, we should be able to save and make long-term investments. So let's discuss about proper healthcare. There are 3 types of healthcare. Now we have the short-term healthcare, the long-term, the senior care, and long-term healthcare. So short-term healthcare is the traditional HMO. This is the healthcare we get from the company where we are employed. No, it has no life insurance coverage. Renewal is not guaranteed, especially if there are high claims, and it only covers you until age 60. So after you retire or after we retire or when we are unemployed, we no longer have healthcare or health insurance. Also, any unused premiums na hindi mo nagamit kasi hindi ka naman nagkasakit while you were employed, they are not returned to us. So it's good as nothing. And just like short-term healthcare. Okay? Senior care is health care that covers beyond 60 years old. So, but this one is very expensive due to conditions that we might be having or experiencing when we get older. So annual premiums increase as we age. So every year nag-renew ka ng policy mo. Every year nag-i-increase din yung babayaran mo. And renewal is not even guaranteed then. We do not recommend waiting to be at this age, not to get this expensive health care when we have the option of getting long-term care while we are able and insurable. So long-term health care is health care coverage with health savings account. So it is renewable and has a fixed premium. All unused fund accumulates with interest because the unused premiums are being invested. And the best part is it covers beyond age 60. And we will share with you in the next slides the long-term healthcare program that we have here in the Philippines. No? Having the proper healthcare is the start of building our solid financial foundation. The old saying, health is wealth, rings true because without proper healthcare, we might end up spending most of our savings when we get sick or when we are hospitalized. Okay. So next, we need to have proper protection or life insurance. So the main purpose of life insurance is to protect our loved ones, business, or properties the moment we die. So as breadwinners, or a working spouse or a parent, our goal is to meet not just the basic needs of our family, but to strive to at least give them a comfortable life, no, if not a luxurious one. So while we work hard to realize this goal, we cannot avoid things, no, that we don't have control of. Example, we get sick, or worse, we die. What will happen to our families? What will happen to our kids? If we do not have life insurance, there is no guarantee that our families will be comfortable. They will surely struggle, and we do not want that to happen to them. Okay, but if we have insurance, no, together with some savings and investments, this will be like instant cash or money that they can use to adjust to the changes, and especially that there is less or no more active income for the family. With life insurance, the basic needs are at least met, no, since it is a replacement for the income that the family used to receive. So we get life insurance not for ourselves, no, but for our families who are depending on us. Okay. So how will we know the right amount of coverage that we need? Okay. We must know this because what if we are offered an insurance plan na hindi pala enough for our families? It would still be challenging for that family that we leave behind. Thus, we compute for the coverage by multiplying our yearly or annual income tax times 10 years. Okay, so why 10 years? No, we need to prepare our family that we leave behind with money, with enough money to support them, pay for the education, for the loans, the house that you got, or the car that you purchased, any bills left, and other expenses, kahit yung mga utang na babayaran din ng life insurance. And for them to be able to adjust comfortably, no, to the changes without burden of financial stress and hardship. So for example, our annual income is 240 pesos, no, times 10 years. The amount of coverage of insurance plan that we should get should be 2.4 million pesos. Okay. So next, we should be able to manage our debts or our utang, no, and reduce our liabilities and expenses. So who among us here has utang or loans? Can you give me a laughing emoji, ano, if you have an utang? Okay. And if you are one of those few who is utang-free, no, walang utang, can you please give me a heart reaction? Okay. So if you are that person, congratulations. May we all be like you. Okay. So it is a known fact that it is easy to borrow money or get a loan or use a credit card because we can instantly buy the things that we want. However, when the time comes to pay for our utang, it becomes very difficult. To establish our financial foundation, we need to pay off our debts. No? We need to learn how to eliminate all our utang, because if we ignore them, pretend that they do not exist, like most of us, no, they will continue to pile up. And did you know that compound interest is also used in loans? Okay, so compound interest will work against us when we are paying for our utang or our loans. So think about our loans, no, and how much is the interest rate. And then apply the rule of 72. If we only pay the minimum balance on our loans, such as credit card loans, and the whole loan amount will double fast due to the high interest rates. No, if you want to learn about the other ways on how to pay off your debts, we have classes for that. So the key point here is to live below our means so that as much as possible, wag po tayong mangutang, or we will not be tempted na mangutang. Or if we really need to borrow money to fund a business, for example, we have to know the interest rates and then compute using the rule of 72. This way, you can or we can determine if we are able to pay back that loan. So next, we should have an emergency fund, which is money that is set aside in cases of emergencies, no, like job loss, accidents, home or car repairs, unforeseen medical expenses, and so on. This is different from your other savings or investments. So this is the money that we put in our savings accounts, you know, in the bank, na may access sa ATM, no? Whenever there is an emergency, we can easily withdraw the money. That's why we still need banks, as mentioned earlier. So having an emergency fund prevents us from using our insurance or investments, no, in times of emergencies. So how much should we set aside as an emergency fund? We compute this by multiplying our monthly expenses times 12 months. So normally it is 3 to 6 months of expenses. However, with this pandemic na maabot na ng 2 years, no, it is suggested to have at least 12 months of expenses. So to start, we list down all our monthly expenses such as rent, utilities, groceries, and other bills, and multiply the total by 12 months. For example, we have 10,000 pesos monthly expenses times 12 months. We should have at least 120,000 pesos as emergency fund in our savings accounts or ATMs. We can start small and eventually we can build up our goal amount, right? Do you agree with me? Okay. So lastly, we should be able to build up our savings and investments. When we are young and working, we need to save up for our retirement. We need to have enough money to support us when we no longer have jobs or active income. For our guests who are here today, how much should our retirement fund be? Okay, do you have any idea? Can you give me some numbers? Can you type in the chat box? What do you think should be the amount of a retirement fund na enough when we retire? 8 million. Who else have another amount in mind? Okay. 10 million. Okay, no, include consider inflation din, no? So dapat taas-taasan pa natin, okay? So IMG recommends that to compute for our retirement fund, this is the formula to use. We multiply our yearly or annual income by 20 years. So bakit 20? Okay, we are considering the number of years that we may live after age 60. And we need this big amount for us to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So if we are earning 240,000 pesos a year, times 20, our retirement fund should be at least 4.8 million pesos. We might think we won't be able to save this, Parang impossible na masasave natin itong 4.8 million if we only have 20 or 30 years before retirement, like me. Late na ako So however, there are ways that we can achieve such goal. And that is to invest in mutual funds and long-term healthcare. So remember our example earlier on compound interest. Investing 1,000 pesos a month with 12% annual interest can give us 5.8 million pesos in 35 years or 3.3 million pesos in 30 years. Okay? So to summarize, here is the solid financial foundation that you can take a screenshot of so you can have a copy of it, including the action plans that we need to take to establish our financial house. Because with a strong foundation, we will be provided with a well-established financial house, which means financially secured family. Again, for proper healthcare, we can get short-term healthcare or the most recommended one, the long-term healthcare. For life insurance, we get the minimum coverage, which is our annual income times 10 years. We need to live below our means to avoid overspending so that we can manage to pay all our debts. And we need to set aside an emergency fund, which is 12 times our monthly expenses. And lastly, we need to build up our retirement fund by computing our annual income by 20 years, and we can achieve our retirement fund goal by investing in mutual funds and long-term health care. So, how do we start? Okay, where do we start? How can we start building our financial foundation? Okay. So most of us who are new to these concepts, it might be challenging to start building our solid financial foundation. However, if there are three major financial needs that we must secure for ourselves and our family, these are proper health care, yung ipaprioritize mo talaga, proper protection or life insurance, and savings and investments. So IMG is here to give us not just financial education, but provide us with a platform to start increasing our income and give us access to the different trusted companies that will offer us the right insurance and investment opportunities. Okay. So one of IMG's partner companies that will help us start building our solid financial foundation is Kaiser International. So Kaiser International is the only company in the Philippines that offers long-term healthcare that is coupled with protection and investment. In this program, we do not need to save separately for healthcare, save another for insurance, and save another for investment. That is why it's called 3-in-1 program, because with just one saving, we can have these three. Okay, so let's take a look at our example here. Let's say we are 22 years old and we get the Kaiser K100 plan. So the installment amount or annual saving is 58,821 pesos. But you can also pay monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. And you will be saving for just 7 years. Okay, which will total to a contract price of 411,750 pesos. Take note, we just have to save for this for 7 years. And during the 7-year saving period or the accumulation period, we received benefits such as free checkups, annual physical exams, dental benefits, waiver of installment due to health, death, and disability, basic medical benefits, and so on. Okay, so after the 7-year saving period, we will be given a certificate of complete payment, and then all we have to do is allow our money to grow for 13 years. So wala na tayong ibang ihuhulog, We allow our money to grow for 13 years. So during the growth period or the extended period, yung waiting period natin, we still get the benefits that I mentioned earlier. So upon reaching maturity or on the 20th year, our money that we saved worth 411,750 has now accumulated to almost 1.2 million, no? So our saving for just 7 years can reach this amount provided that we did not get sick and use a portion of the savings amount. So we have to bear in mind also na kahit na may healthcare insurance na tayo or healthcare coverage, we should always remind ourselves or be aware na to keep ourselves healthy para hindi ito mabawasan yung yung savings natin. Okay? So after the growth period and after our money has grown into 1.2 million, we have the following options. We can withdraw the entire maturity value, withdraw portions of it, or retain the whole amount, no, the whole maturity value, and let it grow further. Kung hindi mo naman kailangan, it is recommended na hayaan mo lang siya. Take note, however, no, that if we withdraw the entire maturity value, kung lahat kukunin mo, wala nang maiiwan, we will no longer have any coverage under the Kaiser plan. Wala ka ng healthcare coverage. Hence, it is highly recommended to keep the whole amount or a portion of it still invested. And if we started saving for this Kaiser healthcare plan by age 22, for example, and when we reach 60 years old, provided we haven't used or withdrawn any of our invested money, the total accumulated amount can total to as much as 6.4 million pesos. And by age 65, our investment can grow to 10.4 million. So this is how compound interest works. Okay, so the longer na iniiwan natin, ini-invest natin yung money, ganon din kabilis na nagpatong-patong ang mga interest. Ganon siya kabilis na nag-grow din. Okay, so if you want to know more about Kaiser Healthcare Program, please talk to the person who invited you. And you can also visit their website, no, kaiserhealthcaregroup.com. Okay. So Kaiser International is just one partner company for us to start our solid financial foundation. So IMG is also partnering with several huge companies in the country, providing healthcare, life insurance, investment, and other financial services. And to categorize these companies, here is the list. Okay. For healthcare, we have Kaiser and De Los Reyes Optical. Life insurance, we have Fidelity and Manila Bankers. Investments, we have Ramper, Atram, Seedbox, Sun Life. Real estate, we have SMBC, Ayala, DMCI, and others. We have the general insurance and allied financial services. So by being a member of IMG, we can avail of the services of these companies at a discount. So if we decide to start building our financial foundation with IMG, I tell you, no, we have overwhelming benefits. Basing on the basic financial concepts and principles of building wealth, IMG is so generous to give us ways and means to start saving for our future. As of this time, there are 48 benefits just by being a member. No? Benefits 1 to 39 are applicable for those based in the Philippines, and the additional benefits 40 to 48 are given to our OFWs. Since we don't have time to discuss all these benefits, allow me then to mention some of these benefits that will allow us to start building our wealth by being an IMG member. No? So first, we have unlimited free financial seminars and checkups. Okay, free 100,000 personal accident insurance provided that you have active accreditation. Okay, so 50,000 life insurance from Fidelity Life with just the 500 pesos one-time fee. We have free eye checkup and eyeglass frames. IMG members can get 2 free eyeglass frames per year, no? Free unlimited consultation at Kaiser Medical Center for members and discounted medical services for members and their immediate family. We have access to the Kaiser Healthcare, the Kaiser coverage, no? Access to Manila Bankers life insurance, We also have 0% entry fee on mutual fund investments for IMG members. Because, if you open a mutual fund account with a financial broker, for example, Call Financials, you normally pay fees for it. But when you are an IMG member, you don't pay any entry fee. As a member, you're entitled to a 1,000 pesos initial investment in a mutual fund account. If you are into active trading in the stock market, you also have access to My Trade, which is a stock market trading platform. You can also avail of discounts on non-life insurances such as car insurance, travel insurance, personal accident, and fire protection insurance. You also have discounts on real estate purchases with SMDC or Ayala Land or DMCI, and discounts on car purchases. Plus, you also receive free Everest Memorial services. With IMG, we can also start our financial business via the Business Ownership Program. We can travel the world for free. We have world-class recognitions, and we can qualify for free HMO coverage when we continue to do the Business Ownership Program and reach certain milestones. Okay, so how do we start receiving these great benefits at IMG? Okay, so the answer is simple. All you have to do is become a member. And we have two membership options. We have the basic membership and associate membership. If we choose to get the basic membership, we pay a one-time fee of 6,000 pesos, and the benefits that we can get are access to the 48 benefits, the opportunity to be licensed and accredited as financial planners, 50,000 death or memorial benefit, 100,000 pesos accident insurance benefit, the online mutual fund account with 1,000 peso worth of shares, and unlimited financial education trainings and classes. And as we can see here in the upper right side, with just the basic membership, 2 blocks of the solid financial foundation are already covered. That is life insurance and investment. And if we choose to get the associate membership, we pay the one-time fee of 6,000 pesos plus the first month's payment of the Kaiser healthcare plan. In this example, we are using the K100 plan. Hence, the total initial payment is 12,382 pesos. And with this membership, the benefits that we can get are access to the 48 benefits that were mentioned, the opportunity to be licensed and accredited as financial planners, up to 500,000 burial or death benefit, up to 1 million accident insurance benefit, the online mutual fund account with 1,000 pesos worth of shares, and unlimited financial education trainings and classes, plus the opportunity to start a financial brokerage business with 6-figure income potential, which will help increase your cash flow, in order to manage debt, build an emergency fund, and increase investments. And of course, we have our Kaiser 3-in-1 long-term care. And take note of the financial foundation. With the associate membership, all blocks are covered, which makes this a great start for us in building our solid financial foundation. If you want to take a screenshot of this table, you may do so. Okay, so to give you a breakdown of the membership fees, these are what we will be paying for. For basic membership, 5,500 is the one-time membership fee, and the 500 pesos is for the Fidelity life insurance with 50,000 coverage. On the other column, we use the Kaiser K100 plan for the associate membership. The total initial payment is broken down to 6,000 membership fee and life insurance, and then the 5,882, which is the first month's payment of the K100 plan, and 500 pesos annual policy fee. So in the associate membership option, we also have higher and lower plans that we can choose from, and not just the K100. But if we are getting the K100 plan, we will initially pay the 12,382 pesos, and on the second month onwards, we will only save 5,882 pesos every month for 7 years, with the option to pay either quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. You can also take a screenshot of this breakdown, including the next slide. So here is the table for the different Kaiser healthcare plans that you can choose from. If you're interested in becoming a member or to learn more about our membership options, please do not hesitate to have a chat with your inviter. Okay. So after learning the realities that we are facing and the benefits that we can get from IMG, some of us can still be skeptical, no, or hesitant to start saving or investing. But no matter what our excuse is, we will still get old next year. No? Our kids will grow up and enter college, and we will need money to pay for their education. And we will eventually retire, no, and stop making active income. So the point is to take action now. Okay, invest in the present to ensure a secure future for us and our family. So be part of a community that inspires you. No? When members of your community save and invest, you will be inspired to save and invest as well. Okay? The opposite happens when you surround yourself with people who are spenders. No? You will end up spending more than you will earn. Hence, find your money tribe, no? That will help you rise from the financial challenges and help you achieve financial success. So IMG's mission is to convert, no, people from being spenders to savers and to teach them how to save the right way. And then we start, of course, as savers. Okay? We can become an advocate, an educator, and an entrepreneur here in IMG. Being here now, you can be included in our movement, no, the 30 million by 2030 financial literacy campaign. We will be posting a link, no, in the chat box wherein you can provide your name and email address, no, contact information, so you will be counted. Or you can also provide the same information to your inviter. Okay. So further, we are encouraging all our guests here to invite your family and friends who can benefit from this class. Let's all share the mission, no, as we grow our financially educated community. As of today, we are able to reach 4 million Filipinos around the globe. No? Let us all be part of this advocacy and start building a better future. So remember that financial independence is not a dream. No, it is a decision that we should make. Don't just dream about financial security, make it happen. Okay, and why not start our journey towards financial freedom with IMG? Okay, thank you very much for investing your time with us today. I hope everyone learned something new, relearned something familiar, and unlearned something that needs changing, no? Our misconceptions. Thank you so much, and let's all continue to stay safe. Okay, God bless us all. Thank you very much.